In this video, I'm going to share with you one of the best B2B blog SEO strategies for your business so you can improve your ranking and start generating organic traffic that later will convert as a leads for your business. Hey, what's up marketers? I'm Eduard Dziak from B2B the place where you can learn how to grow your digital marketing effectively without spending money on marketing agencies. In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the best B2B blog SEO strategies for your business so you can start generating meaningful organic traffic that later can support your business growth. Also, I will be sharing some of the best practices, tips and tricks, so make sure you are watching the entire video. So, if you find this video valuable, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel as I post every week new video to level up your B2B digital marketing. And without further ado, let's get started. The first on our list of B2B SEO strategies for your blog is title tag that should include your keyword and be catchy, so people want to click on it and search engines better understand what is this blog post about. Your title tag has much bigger power than you think, and if you are not putting enough effort into your title tags, then you are probably losing out on organic traffic and wasting the hard work you have put into your blog articles. The thing is that even if you are already ranking on the first page of Google, but your title tag does not cut it, it will be quickly replaced if it does not get the clicks it is supposed to get. Also, according to Ahrefs, there is a correlation between including optimized SEO title tag and ranking. But we should take it with a pinch of salt, as Google is smart and not necessarily needs to match exact keywords ever since Hummingbird was introduced. So, title tag does play a role in your ranking. Therefore, you should put in some effort to optimize your title tag to be click-worthy, interesting, and reflect the topic you want to target. Because Google made it clear a long time ago, as they are searching for relevancy, and your title tag shows Google and your target audience how relevant is your blog post to their inquiries. Our goal is simple: to give people the most relevant answers to their queries as quickly as possible. This requires constant tuning of our algorithms, as new content, both good and bad, comes online all the time. So let's look at some of the best practices for SEO title tag. Title tag length between 15 and 14 characters have 8.6% higher click-through rate compared to those that are outside of the range, according to Backlinko. Title tags that contain a question have a 14.1% higher click-through rate, according to Backlinko. Keep your title tag around 50 to 60 characters, as Google will cut the rest. Optimize for one main head keyword. Focus on unique part of your article. These are the best practices for title tags, but of course you can do more than just that. But remember, sometimes it's better to do less and properly than more but halfway. The next within B2B SEO strategies for a blog is craft your meta description with care and spend some time and effort on it. Your meta description is like a good trader. If you catch a user attention and provide something valuable and interesting to them, then they will click. And that is the whole point of the meta description, as it works as a short teaser and opens a window for users to peek in and see what the article is about. But a recent study shows from Digital Information World that Google prefers using its own meta description based on ranking, use keywords, and to match the website content. And as we can see on the graph, around 75% of the time Google does rewrite your meta description on the desktop searches. And for mobile searches, we can see it's slightly higher, the rate. But for both, we can conclude that Google does change your meta description a lot. But it doesn't mean you shouldn't include your meta description, as according to Backlinko, pages with a meta description have higher click-through rate versus without description. Thus, better ranking and more organic traffic for you. So, whether Google does create its own meta description for your pages or not, it is always better to include your meta description as it helps with your B2B SEO to rank better and for more relevant search terms. And these are some of the best practices for meta description to improve your B2B SEO for your blog. A recommended description between 50 to 160 characters. Create a compelling description that searcher will want to click. Need some copywriting skills for this. Avoid duplicated meta description tags. Even for some reason, the meta description is perfect for more of your pages. Don't do that. Do not include double quotation marks. It doesn't work and Google can punish it with lower rankings or even removing the page from search. Do some A/B testing. Do not write any meta description. I know I've shown data that on average it is better to have a meta description, but sometimes we need to test it and see on ourselves, so don't be scared and not write any. So, this is some of the best SEO meta description practices, but feel free to drop a comment below. What are your favorite meta description practices for your blog or for your pages? The next strategy is historical optimization for your blog post. I've only seen a very few blogs written about it, but it is definitely an important strategy that just not increase your organic traffic, but also bring more leads to your business. The thing is that more and more content is written every day, but demand is not growing anymore. That means the supply is going up while the demand is stagnating. Just according to WordPress, on their own platform, users publish 70 million posts each month. And each month, approximately 409 million people views more than 20 billion pages. On top of that, getting organic traffic to your new blog posts and pages can take a while and rank on the first page of Google even longer. According to Ahrefs study, the average top 10 ranking pages is 2+ years old, and those that rank at the position number 1 are almost 3 years old on average. But let's be honest, who is going to read a blog post that is 3 years old? Most people, when they see a blog post from 3 years back, will not go there, as they believe it cannot be relevant, and they can easily find article written in the recent months, or at least updated in the recent months. I hope you see where this goes. So, to explain what is historical optimization, first I had to go through these data to explain why it is so important, and now I can explain what it is. Historical optimization of blog posts is taking old articles and add new information, update data and statistic if it includes, and generally refresh the article with the new relevant ideas and information which are up to date. And this is super important because most of the articles on Google have been seen at least 3 years back, and yet they are still relevant to you. And that is because it has been consistently updated to keep the information and the article up to date. So let's look at some of the best historical optimization practices for B2B blog you can apply right now to refresh your content, start getting traffic for your old blog post again, and keep bringing leads. Check top performing blog posts year and 2 years ago and find relevant keywords that they have ranked for but they are not included within the content, and then update the content with those keywords. Focus on blog posts that are older than 12 months. If your website is new, I recommend 18 months, as that is the average time when the website is getting some traction. Add new or replace call to action within blog post with more relevant and up-to-date content to keep conversion rate high. Update your publish date with the current new date when you republish the blog post. Promote the same way as you would do with a new article. Define your conversion path for updated content to fit it in your current goals and customer journey. So, these are some of the best historical optimization practices for your blog. Definitely an important B2B SEO strategy for your blog that you should include within your marketing mix. Just HubSpot itself has a full-time people to just update their old blog posts to keep driving more organic traffic and leads for their business. The next on our list of B2B SEO strategies for blog to help you get higher ranking and more organic traffic is using a shorter URL. Google is using over 200 ranking factors to determine where to position your blog post between others. And of course, some are less of the ranking factor than others. But still, paying attention to SEO details is essential to get you in the top 10 in Google. And usually often overlooked by many marketers is the way how you structure your URL, because URL does influence your ranking in two ways. The first, from SEO standpoint, your URL has a weak ranking factor that very little influence your ranking in search engine, but it still does. And if you fight for the top positions, small nitty-gritty B2B SEO details can make a difference. And the second, from a user standpoint and how they react to your URL. If they see it relevant, then it has much bigger and stronger impact on your ranking than you might think. And to prove this, Backlinko did a study. They found a very slight correlation between URL length and ranking. Specifically, short URLs tend to have a slightly higher ranking advantage over longer URLs. Also, this has been confirmed by Matt Katz, as he said, as it gets a little longer, then it starts to look a little worse. Now, our algorithm typically will just weight those words less and just not give you as much credit. So, your URL is important to consider when you are posting a new article, as it can influence your ranking on Google. And to help you out, let me share with you some of the best URL SEO strategies to help you rank higher. A well-crafted URL provides both humans and search engines with an easy-to-understand the indication of what the destination page will be about. URL with 50 to 60 characters is a good number for URL. Target only 1 to 2 keywords maximum per URL. Keyword stuffing is not a good idea in any way. Use keywords within URL at the beginning if possible. Try to match URL to the title if possible. So, these are some of the best URL practices to help you with B2B SEO for your blog. The next on our list of B2B SEO strategies for a blog is using videos, graphs, and quotes for each of your blog posts to improve customer experience and the average time. You probably know that 43% of people admit to skimming blog posts. And from my personal experience, the number is much higher, as people are busy and they do not have time to read the whole article. They want to just find quick information without reading the entire article. Therefore, using bullet points, headlines, and shorter paragraphs help readers to get the information and make the text more readable. But this is not enough, and because the time people spend on your website is an important ranking factor, according to Backlinko, websites with above average time on site tend to rank higher in Google. Therefore, increasing the time people spend on your website is super important. And as the longer people spend on your website, the better you can rank. And that is why using videos, graphs and quotes is important, because they caught people's attention and stop them to look at it and maybe read the entire part. This is the attention grabber you need to stop them from skimming. As people are visual creatures, and if you can demonstrate your point with a video, graph or quote, it stands out between the lines of text. So, try to always include relevant resources on your blog post to help your readers to visualize what you are talking about. I have also seen using funny and cute pictures that can work as well to demonstrate the point. The next on our list of B2B SEO strategies for your blog is to focus on the internal linking of your blog post. Internal linking is essential for your blog and the whole website, as it helps Google to find and crawl your pages and understand what your website is about. It also gives important signals that you have related pages about topic you are talking about, and because the more good quality content you have around the topic your website is about, the more authority your website gets. And not just that, internet linking helps users to navigate across your website and find more relevant topics in what they are interested, which increase the amount of time they are on your website, and of course, the longer, the better. So, as you regularly publish new articles, you also must regularly update your internal linking strategy to make sure you have internal linking across new and old blog posts. And to help you out more, let me share with you some of the best internal linking practices. Make sure to update your internal linking, and I like to do that every 10 blog posts to update my internal linking, because it's easy to remember. It is enough to have 2 internal linking to one page. Use mixed keyword and non-keyword links anchors. For non-keywords, still it must be relevant to the linking page. Do not include links within generic anchor text like pages, article or click here. Avoid using text that is off topic or has no relation to the content of the page linked to. Avoid using the page's URL as an anchor text in the most cases, although there are certain legitimate uses of this, such as promoting or referencing a new website's address. Also, I recommend you to read more about Google internal linking guidelines, section Use Links Wisely, as there you can find plenty of helpful tips and tricks, and if you will be following their best practices, you definitely won't hurt your website. The next strategy, and one of my very favorite among B2B SEO strategies for my blog, is using the Middleman method from Ahrefs. This strategy is a big deal breaker if you are not using this method yet. Here you can see an example when I first time used the Middleman method for one of the pages that barely got 10 impressions a month, and this page is old for over 4 years. And ever since we are regularly publishing new articles and using Middleman method, we can see a great boost in getting more impressions, clicks and better ranking position for product pages. So I definitely recommend to everybody check out this video from Ahrefs, as they better explain the Middleman method and how it works. It's super easy but super effective. So make sure you check the video. And the last B2B SEO strategy that I want to mention for your blog is don't be greedy and put some outbound links. Unfortunately, many hardworking website owners and marketers spend so much time creating great content, but they do not want to use any external resources, so they don't have to put any outbound links. And you might think that, of course, why should I share my hard work with somebody else when I can do it all alone? But this is wrong. One of the biggest B2B SEO mistakes marketers can do is not put any outbound links within their blog post at all. Outbound links are important because it helps Google to understand your website even more and therefore position it better to become more relevant to people who are interested in your topics you are writing about. Also, linking out to relevant resources increase the strength of your blog post and adding depth to your content. As like this, you can provide even more value and better explanation by including stats, graph and other resources from other websites that are relevant to the blog post you are writing about. Outbound links also enhance the value of your blog, as John Miller said. Linking to other websites is a great way to provide more value to your users. Often links help users to find out more, check out your sources and to better understand how your content is relevant to the questions they have. By the way, here's the video when John Miller said that. And with using outbound links, you are also building trust with your readers, as you are a reliable source in your niche and people will always come back as they know you are doing your best to provide the best information, even though it means to share traffic with someone else. So I hope you will start with outbound linking, and let's look at some of the best practices for outbound links. Use descriptive keywords in the anchor text. You don't want to use the same keyword every time or you will run the risk of triggering spam detector. Look for opportunities to include relevant and outbound links directly in your content. Avoid too many outbound links. What is too many? Well, from my personal opinion, every 500 to 1000 words, you should include one outbound link. So, and there you have it. This is some of the best practices for outbound linking for your B2B blog. And that's all from me. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned something new, so don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video and share it on social media. Also, leave a comment below what B2B SEO strategy for your blog you will implement as a first. By the way, I have put some cool links in the description for tools to help you with SEO, content marketing, email marketing and more. So don't forget to check them out. Ciao!